you understand?
Hey everybody, I'm Tony Jones, and welcome to the Tony Jones Show.
It's not enough. People are willing to take the risk. It's sort of a herd mentality, a lemming-like mentality. If you don't go with the flow, you're anti-American and therefore a suspect.
The Tony Jones Show, featuring punk, rockabilly, psychobilly, and Providence, Rhode Island's finest, starts right now.
He's a dangerous militia member, I hear. Oh, and there she blows.
Friends, the time for mediocrity in broadcasting is over. My name is Tony Jones, and you are tuned in to the Tony Jones Show, your destination for talk and rock, online at tonyjones.org, facebook.com/Tony Jones Show, on the almighty Twitter at Tony Jones in RI. Of course, I ask you to go to rifreeradio.org for all your web entertainment needs. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out with me as we return here to the Tony Jones Show, kicking things off with some big, bad, voodoo daddy spooky madness, the name of that one, and that is because I am already, and I know this will be heresy to a lot of folks listening, especially folks listening in the Rhode Island area, but I am already looking ahead with bated breath to the fall time, and of course specifically Halloween, but fall in general. And as I was inside a local purveyor of groceries earlier today, what did I see out in the aisle, that middle aisle that you stroll down, that middle aisle that you try to keep your wife or your girlfriend or your significant other out of? Yes, I'm talking of the seasonal aisle. What did I see in the seasonal aisle but that of candy corn? Yes, the Halloween candy is out at local grocers, and that made me happy. Now, I didn't want Wilford Brimley to show up and remind me of my diabetes, so I did not get any candy corn, but I was just happy to see the candy corn out there. So, spooky madness for you, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, right here on the Tony Jones Show. Of course, more horror-themed music to come this week and each and every week here on the Tony Jones Show. Between now and the top of the hour, some of the best local music around. Scanning down the list here. Yes, all local independent music on tap for you. Some of the best around, coming in fast and furious. Go to rifreeradio.org, click on the contact page, or go to tonyjones.org, click on the contact page. Either way, that's how you get music to us. Both DJ Psycho Eddie and I were off last week. We'll talk about that. I can only imagine he has some stories to regale us with. And speaking of DJ Psycho Eddie and I, in 3 weeks' time, we'll both be at the New England Cahug Festival. I want to talk about that in a bit. And another conversation that I want to have that spreads from a conversation that happened this past Monday night after Tony Jones and the Cretin 3 practice. So hopefully we have time to get to that, because I want to tell you my story, and I also want you all to weigh in, because I can only assume that a lot of people in our listening audience have similar tales of woe. So that's all coming up for you. I know a lot to pack in between now and the top of the hour. The music does continue, because, of course, the Tony Jones Show is all about the music. The little ska theme continues next. Here's a little brunt of it. This track is Out of Gas. You heard it here on the Tony Jones Show. Coming out of 2 from the Vapo Rubs right here on the Tony Jones Show. Tony Jones and the Cretin 3 had a chance to play with those guys about a year ago at AS220 in Providence. Take a Beating, the name of that one, and then before that, Safety Van. Then last time we chatted, I brought you into a little brunt of it. Out of Gas, the name of that track. You were tuned into the Tony Jones Show, Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show. We're on Twitter at Tony Jones in RI. Be sure to go to TonyJones.org and RIFreeRadio.org. I can only hope that you all missed us last week as duty called. We were on the studio, no new program last week, no live broadcast. DJ Psycho Eddie and I both out of town last week, and I don't have much to say about my experience, so I was covering the Newport Folk Festival for another media outlet that I work for, and it was a great weekend, a great folk festival, one of the premier events in Rhode Island, if not one of the premier events on the East Coast. Well run, great weekend all around, and but that's about it. Just a straight up good weekend. DJ Psycho Eddie, however, was living more of the rock and roll lifestyle. You were out in the backwoods of Connecticut with many of the pillars of the Rhode Island music scene, and lost some equipment over the weekend, I hear.
Oh, I lost my mind. It was a great event. Now, if you can imagine, they took a almost like a double wide trailer frame. They built a bar out of it.
Nice. With
probably if you remember Blazes, the size of the stage of Blazes.
Right, yeah.
This stage was like 3 times that size and a lot more secure. However, they only had a 15-amp circuit running from the guy's house, which was like 250 feet away. So you have the hum of 4 10,000-watt generators in the background.
Sounds like a bad techno song.
Oh, no, this is actually really good because the speaker stack from top to bottom was about 8 feet tall.
Damn.
Four sets of subs, 4 sets of full range, double 15 full range. And when you look from the stage and you looked out, you can see almost, I want to say about a quarter of a mile. That's how far out people were camping.
Wow.
It was all mowed field. It wasn't like, let's try to squeeze. Yeah. It was like almost like a campground, except without any electricity amenities. Or
how was the toilet situation?
Well, you see, you had 3 options. Gotta pee, find a tree.
There's always a third option.
It's better to bear the shame than to bear the pain. Yeah, you could either find a tree. They had outhouses, but I did the calculations, and for me to wipe my backside, I would have to open the door. Third option, which the one I opted for, was there is the truck stop as you look off 95 coming into Connecticut. Mm-hmm. That truck stop was approximately 3 miles away.
Okay, that's not too bad.
You could make that in a couple of minutes.
Unless you're squeezing cheeks.
Oh, no, I actually was. It was the morning constitutional, squeezing cheeks, doing about 60 down these back roads in North Stonington to make it to the truck stop and try to walk in. And the guy looks at you and he knows you're just going to do damage when you go in there.
Yeah.
But, that was the bathroom situation. The music situation was phenomenal. 17 bands played.
Wow.
Gemello, one of the bands I've never heard of before. Never seen them perform. They actually put on a hell of a set. Mm-hmm. Carpathia was the first time I've actually caught them live, and I'm almost embarrassed to say that. They put on a hell of a show. Joint Damage did an awesome set. Apollo's Resurrection, who I'm going to do a shameless plug. I'm going to start my show off with them because they put on an awesome show. And, of course, the camaraderie, because now you're hanging out with about 350 to 400 of your closest friends in the woods on private property. It kind of smelled like there were skunks nearby, but none were seen.
Now, and I can assume it's a little bit like like we talk about with the conventions, where it's people that you don't really get to see and hang out with every day.
Oh, exactly.
Just a few times a year.
For me to sit, actually get out of the DJ booth and like hang out with people, it's a rare occasion. But I was able to actually walk around, talk to people. People were coming up to me. It wasn't a show. It was everyone was just hanging out and doing a little bit of entertaining. As far as the carnage, however, from Friday night into Saturday, the wind had picked up considerably. Enough so where I used to have a 12 by 12 tent with walls.
So if you've seen us at Paracon or at Providence Flea, you've seen this tent.
Exactly. Well, you're not going to see it anymore. Now, I had 4 about 30, 35-pound sandbags, one on each corner, to hold this thing down. The wind was enough to flip the tent in the air over a Suburban, land in front of the Suburban without touching it, snapped all 4 legs off as it landed.
Now, were you in the shelter at this time, or was it later in the day?
I would no. It was that's actually what woke me up. Because here I am. I got the back.
Talk about having to get to the bathroom.
I got the back of the truck open into the tent. So I hear the wind coming. I hear the tent bouncing a little. And it was just like something out of a movie. You just hear a thump, and there I am. Now, I luckily, normally I sleep au naturel, but I knew there were going to be people around, so I left a pair of shorts on. And next thing you know, I'm just looking out the back of my truck at people. It's like, wait a minute.
He pulled a Red Hot Chili Peppers. He was wearing one sock.
It was a rude wake up. It was like, oh crap. Now, I'm recovering from the partying from the night before, and I did make an announcement, which I'm sure I've told you off the air, but as of September 9th, I'm done DJing.
Yeah.
So, everyone had to do a shot with me that night. So needless to say, I was a mess by the time I went to bed.
And you're like me, if you're out at an event and someone is kind enough to offer you a shot or a free beer, I can't be rude.
You can't say no.
Far be it from me to not accept. So
it would be rude not to accept.
Exactly. I was grown up with manners.
I'm a good Christian.
Now, making his return to the Tony Jones Show for either the 3rd or 4th time, I can't remember, speaking of taking all those shots, is Mike Worm, who earlier today I reminded everybody, in my opinion, is one of the hardest working promoters in punk rock right now. Mike, glad you could make it down.
Hey, thank you, man. Thanks for the kind words.
I know it's quite a trek. So you have a big show coming up on August 25th, the reunion of Honest John happening at the C Note. Tell us a little bit about
Providence's own Honest John reunion show, Bad Movies reunion show, and about 4 other bands. It's going to be a great time, great night, right by the beach in Nantasket Beach and Hull, the C Note. 21 plus, $8, 8 p.m., 7 p.m. actually.
Now, I have yet, shame on me, to get out to the C Note, but I know it's kind of like a waterfront area. Tell us a little bit about that venue. You've been doing a few shows down there lately, right?
I've been booking down there for close to 2 years and trying to get more people to come from the city down there.
Yeah.
I had Dave Tree and his new band See This World last month with the Pine Killers, both from Boston. And the Moneys from the Western Mass, I think Springfield area.
Nice.
And my band Worm played. I'm trying to build up an audience down there for them. I mean, there used to be a lot of cool bands that came through Nantasket, Paradigm Park. I think the Ramones and the Clash played there in the 80s, in the 70s. So
it's sad to see bands kind of lately and looking at some of the shows coming to the fall, kind of skipping over this area as they're out on tour.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Rancid last night in Brockton.
Yeah.
I haven't been to a show in Brockton in a long time.
Man, they asked me to do security for that, and I was thinking, I really should check this one out.
It was a great show.
That's what I'm hearing too with
Bouncing Souls, awesome set they opened. Jake Burns from Stiff Little Fingers opened up on an acoustic set. And then the Dropkicks closed, of course.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure more people in the Boston area are there for Rancid than the Dropkicks.
They must. I was going to say they must have tore the place down, but
they came out and did an encore with Lars and Tim from Rancid last
Wow.
night, which is cool. They played a bunch of cover songs, but.
So let's swing back to the music here on the Tony Jones Show. We'll talk more with Mike. We'll talk more with DJ Psycho Eddie. Coming up is back to the local music. Now, I don't know if you have ever noticed this before, DJ Psycho Eddie, but sometimes there'll be a band, and you probably have noticed it and have just been too nice to mention it. Sometimes you'll play a band on your show, and then magically they appear on the Tony Jones Show either the next week or a few weeks later. And that is because you've already done the hard work of ripping it onto our server, and now it's on the computer, and it's one less step for them to be on my playlist. So we're going to have a double shot of, and you know, one of my favorite local bands, and I haven't had a chance to play them yet, and I'm ashamed of that fact. So we're going to remedy that now with a double shot of Chained to Insanity. And this track is going to, this double shot is going to kick off with the track Drugs Don't Work. You heard it here on the Tony Jones Show, and recently you heard it on DJ Psycho Eddie's show.
One pill to ease the pain, one pill to make it rain, one pill so I remain, to think that I am sane, but I'm not sure anymore. One pill to get me up, one pill to bring me down, one helps me fill my cup, pour me another round, I think I'm starting to feel again. Drugs don't work anymore, I can't get numb, the voices in my brain have refused to succumb. There's no escaping myself or the mess that I've made. Shakes me down to the core, and drugs don't work anymore. Look in the mirror and see reflecting back at me something old and weak, don't know who that could be. I better try back tomorrow. They used to line the halls waiting for my command. Now I'm climbing the walls without a single hand. Can't trust my own devices. Drugs don't work anymore, I can't get numb, the voices in my brain have refused to succumb. sad but true. I've been badly used, cut down and been abused, told I was a tragic boy, and dumped for being a raging whore. Maybe love is made for the weak, or am I just on a losing streak? My life forever blue. I've given up on finding a man. I've done everything I can. Seems I can't be I've been badly used, cut down and been abused, told I was a tragic boy, and dumped for being a raging whore.
Tony Jones and the Cretin 3 were talking after practice the other day. Come out of 2 from Chained to Insanity. Unloved, the name of that one. Drugs Don't Work. The track I brought you into. 2 from Chained to Insanity. For the first time, unfortunately. But we'll remedy that right here on the Tony Jones Show. Tony Jones and the Cretin 3 were talking the other day after practice. And I want you guys to weigh in on this, because I can only assume that you have similar hilarious stories as 3 guys that come from the DIY mentality and, you know, just doing it and putting it out there. And we're talking about the crappiest cars we ever had. Now, I did pretty much the equivalent of like an East Coast tour in just this crappy, rusted out truck, and it was no fun because we'd play a show and then the truck would break down, and we'd play a show and then the truck would break down. I didn't budget any money for food, so we're eating at McDonald's the whole time, so the truck's breaking down. I have diarrhea from eating off of the easy on, easy off roads, but, you know, not having the money to tour, we didn't let that stop us, and that actually wasn't the crappiest car I ever had. The crappiest car I ever had was a Chrysler LeBaron convertible. And actually, our own Chuckles the Clown was with me at the time. And the latches for the convertible didn't quite latch right. So if you got over a certain speed, say it was 66, you know, when you went from 65 to 66, those latches would buckle in, and that top would go flying up. And, of course, I learned that the hard way. So we're heading down the highway, and all of a sudden, whoosh, and that is the top of the Chrysler LeBaron flying up, and then, you know, eventually going down and going back up. But, you know, I've had some crappy cars. Now, part of that was because I'm cheap, but part of that at the time was because I was putting time into music and I didn't have the disposable income for a decent vehicle. So I want to pose it here to DJ Psycho Eddie and to Mike Worm. What is the crappiest mode of transportation that you've had? And I can see the look on the face that you guys actually have to pick from what was the crappiest.
Well, right now for me, it's actually a very close toss-up between 2, because I had a Nissan 200SX, which was so small I had to keep the sunroof open because my head would pop out of the top.
Yabba dabba doo!
Or a 1978 Ford Granada was green, but the red primer was coming through, so we nicknamed it the Bloody Snot. It reeked of wet dog. And I think the first day I had it, it snowed, and I went headlong into a telephone pole, and I never fixed it.
Now, I can't remember if it was you or somebody else. It might have been George Garner, but didn't you have an issue with a rusted Crown Vic?
No.
And that wasn't you? Oh.
No, the only story I have with a rusted Crown Vic was a very large girl sat in the seat and pulled the bolts that hold the seat through the floor, and she almost took out my friend's legs.
Oh, wow.
What about you, Mike? As a DIYer, I assume you've had some crappy
It's a
cars.
toss-up for me, too. A 91 Ford Explorer that every time you stopped at a red light, it looked like it was humping the road. I just go back and forth. I drove it to about 230,000 miles.
Wow.
And then it was all done. I had to put sheet metal on the to cover up the rust to pass the inspection for a couple of years.
I almost got in trouble at inspection for my my Nissan. The floors all rusted out and busted out. So instead of spending money on sheet metal, I would steal street signs.
That's awesome.
However,
That's DIY.
however, when they put it up on the lift to do the inspection, and you're at a garage, they're doing a state inspection, and you can see the stop right across the floor. They're like, "Excuse me, where'd you get that?" Oh, hold on a second. You get the undercoating just to cover the words. Yeah.
Not too long ago, actually. No, just maybe 10 years back, I had because we were playing a lot, I had a station wagon so we could fit all the equipment in there, and then the four of us could sit in there. So it was almost like the equivalent of a tour van, but it was a station wagon. It had the wood paneling down the side. It had the rumble seat so one person could face backwards. And the reason that I got a good deal on it is because it ran fine, but it didn't go in reverse. So I had to be very, very careful of where I parked because I couldn't back up. I can only go forward. So we were downtown, not too far from Club Hell, right on Richmond Street, and I parked in an area where there was no parking behind me, so I knew I wouldn't be able to back up. And of course, somebody parks there illegally, so we all have to get out of the car, jack the wheel, push the car back. We had to push a 3-point turn to get out of that spot because I couldn't back up, and someone was parked right up on me. So
it's amazing the number loading your car with full of equipment will do on your car.
yeah, yep.
I'm just amazed I haven't died from carbon monoxide poisoning in most of my vehicles. Up until within the last 10 to 15 years, I have had the most ungodly string of beaters. you can't even imagine. Oh, my God. Wow.
And that's, this is us suffering for our art. I want you to know it's just not that we're cheap or poor or we didn't grow up with a silver spoon up our butt. It's because we're suffering for our art.
You can get a nice car, and in a couple of years after playing a ton of shows, it won't be so nice.
I could spend $9,000 on sound, or I can spend $9,000 on a car. Yeah. I go for the sound.
With sound.
I want to head back to the music now. Quite a enthusiastic punk rock block. I feel that I have on tap for you. Now, if you join DJ Psycho Eddie and I at the New England Cawhug Festival on August 27th, by the way, you can go to newenglandcawhugfestival.com. If you're not from Rhode Island, you may not know that Cawhug is spelled Quahog. If you join us there, you will not only find DJ Psycho Eddie on the ones and twos, as the kids say, but I was able to book this next guy. He's one of our favorites around here. We're going to hear from Johnny Earthquake up next for you.
Yeah.
One of the
Johnny.
best.
Good friend.
This one, I Feared for My Life. You heard it here on The Tony Jones Show.
Well, it's a dangerous job, but the paycheck is great, and I fear for my life. There are people who rob, murder, and rape, and I fear for my life. This ain't no Andy Griffith, ain't no Barney Fire, where every flip phone looks like a knife. What will become of my kids and my wife if I should pay the price? I fear for my life. Well, the good and the bad all start to look the same. I fear for my life. I feel like I'm trapped in a bad much Walking Dead. You gotta shoot the bastards in the head. It's better off them than me instead. That pays the final price. I feared for my life. Well, you never know what's behind that door. I feared for my life. So I sprayed her with bullets just to make sure. I feared for my life. I offered up my deepest regret. I should have gotten an award, but I get disrespect. Then you start to hate the ones you're supposed to protect. I know I was right. I feared for my life. He was only a boy, but it looked like a gun, and I feared for my life. I said stop, he started to run, and I feared for my life. So I shot him in the back, and it fell to the ground and started crawling away. So I shot another round, started reaching for his heart. Was that some weapon that he found? Of course, we'll prove I was right. I feared for my life. Yeah, I feared for my life. The law was on my side, and I feared for my life.
Some Midnight Creeps right here on the Tony Jones Show. I hope you dug that little punk rock set, bringing me back to the days of spinning the early sets of Punk Rock 101 around town. We kick things off with one of my favorites. Dare I say he is legendary, and he'll be at the New England Call Hug Festival in a few weeks' time here locally. We started that off with Johnny Earthquake, I Feared for My Life, the name of that one. Then we heard a little Worm, Girls in the Mosh Pit. Then we went into Bad Movies, the name of the band. Bad Movies, the name of the track. Then the Knockups, Shut Up. And you just heard the Midnight Creeps, Just Can't Get It Right. You heard it all here on the Tony Jones Show. As I looked at the clock, we are unfortunately starting to run out of time. DJ Psycho Eddie is here. Mike Worm is here. Mike Worm booking some solid nights around town here locally and up north a bit. But Mike, I assume you, like me, have a love-hate relationship with booking. So it is sometimes like herding cats. However, when you put together a solid show, it's worth it. And I'm sure you're like me, where there's some shows that come through where if you didn't book that night, it's not like another promoter would have taken it over. Like that night just wouldn't have happened.
Very true. It's a love-hate relationship.
I just had a situation where
it's a headache, but at the same point, you just got to do it.
Yeah. I just recently had a situation where I put out the information and I said, please load in 1 hour before your set time. Now, the information had everybody's set times, and I said, please load in 1 hour before your set time. I cannot tell you how many bands emailed me back and said, what time is load in? Like, is it because I didn't do the math for you? We just got our first ever little thing from the club that says like what equipment they have, and not quite a rider, but for the first time ever in all my years of playing music, we just got like a stage sheet.
That's always a plus.
Yeah, I feel like
bands don't have to bring shit. They're always pumped.
Yeah, especially if this particular club's in Newport, so the parking gets a little tricky, but.
There's been a good amount of shows going on down there.
Yes, Newport is, which for me is awesome. It's about 15, 20 minutes away from my house. And all of a sudden there's this huge rock and punk rock scene sprouting up in the yuppie capital of the East Coast in Newport. I mean, it's great to see. Actually, Johnny Earthquake came through not too long ago. Tell us, unfortunately, we're almost out of time, so tell us one more time about the show you have coming up.
So we got August 25th, Friday night at the C-Note, Nantasket Beach, 159 Nantasket Ave in Hull, Massachusetts, 7:30 p.m. $8, 21 plus. Bad Movies, Honest John reunion shows with Brain Dead from Plymouth, the Blue Liners from the North Shore, Sick Joke from Boston, and this new hardcore band called Mouth Breather from Lowell. It's going to be a great night, great time, cheap drinks, punk rock.
And people can go to facebook.com/recklessrecords, but make sure you spell it with rec and chords to find Mike's Reckless Records.
Correct. And we got 2 flyers online. One Dan from Honest John did, and one Jeff from the Blue Liners did. So for all you artsy-fartsy people out there, they're pretty cool flyers.
Real physical, you can hold in your hand,
you can hold it in your hand, yep.
Flyers, you don't have to put it up on the screen.
You can find that on the Facebook event page, Reckless Records.
Mike, thank you again. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Tony.
Book some more Rhode Island shows. We always appreciate that. DJ Psycho Eddie, a pleasure as always.
As always.
And we're going to leave you here with a little bit from the Dust Ruffles to take you out of this week's Tony Jones Show. Don't forget to go to TonyJones.org, rifreeradio.org, Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show, on the almighty Twitter at Tony Jones in RI. Check us out live each and every week, but of course, don't forget you can access our podcast, which is constantly in the top 20 of United States nationwide musical podcasts, and I can't thank you all enough for the support. And again, don't forget to get us your music, TonyJones.org, click on the contact page, rifreeradio.org, click on the contact page if you'd like to be in studio or if you have tracks for us. We're constantly processing new music as it comes in fast and furious here at the studio. The Dust Ruffles now for you. Here's Romeo. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Adios.
Arise, we meet I can read your thoughts. I see where this is going. I know your thoughts, and I can see the lies and the truth and the pain. I can recognize that this is just a game. We play in our minds because we are the same. I want, you want what we can't have. We take, we steal, we make it real. I can recognize that it's not for me. We can't justify this eternally. I don't believe it can be anything real. I know, Romeo, you don't need to say it, you can just go. I know, Romeo, I don't need to ask, I'll just let it go. We are just addicted to the taste of our lips. Something comes alive when you trace down my hips. So dance, 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 dance with me. Tomorrow's gonna change and you will have to go. I know. It feels so right. We dance all night. Before it's time, you are on my mind. But I can recognize that this is goodbye. I do not want you to tell me why. Don't worry, I am not gonna die from the way I feel. I know, Romeo, you don't need to say it, you can just go. I know, Romeo, I don't need to ask, I'll just let it go. We are just addicted to the taste of our lips. Something comes alive when you trace down my hips. So dance, 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 dance with me. Tomorrow's gonna change and you will have to go. I know. I don't wanna stop dancing. This might be the last chance to feel a bit of romancing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I know, Romeo, you don't need to say it, you can just go. I know, Romeo, I don't need to ask, I'll just let it go. We are just addicted to the taste of our lips. Something comes alive when you trace down my hips. So dance, 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 dance with me. Tomorrow's gonna change and you will have to go. I know.
You don't have any fun. From Wednesday to Thursday, just gonna have a run. Friday and Saturday, you're always getting drunk. And Sunday, you stay at home and never go to church. From Monday to Tuesday, you don't have any fun. From Wednesday to Thursday, just gonna have a run. Friday and Saturday, you're always getting drunk. And Sunday, you stay at home and never go to church.
right, my Night Outers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of My Night Out Radio. This is DJ Psycho Eddie. In studio with me tonight, we have Mr. Mike Worm from Reckless Records. He'll be in studio in just a few minutes.
I think he's out dropping a worm right now.
I was just going to say he's hitting the oxygen stick. Coming in, that song, by the way, was Apollo's Resurrection. Name of the song, Eulogy of Society. I had the pleasure of seeing them over this weekend at Livestock, which I'll be talking about in a little while. Also in studio, we have Mr. Tony Jones.
7 feet of pure charisma.
He is making us sound as wonderful as always. I am just a shell of a man right now. I have literally abused myself for the last almost full week. As you know, last week we did not have a show, nor did Tony, actually. Tony, you doing...
I was at Newport Folk Festival in Newport, and jazz festivals happening this week. They had Bridge Festival in between, and then Newport will go back to its regular yuppie self, but it's this time of year, it is just slamming down there.
Now, it's actually been quite busy. As a driver, I've been going down to Newport quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And it is... pretty much wall to wall, especially
they're
on
giving
the
money away down there.
It is nuts down there. But for the last couple of weeks, I haven't been able to drive because I've just been so busy doing other things, like not throwing up to be one of them. Like I said, we did Livestock, but I also figured out that the website Groupon is actually trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Did you know that? I even have proof of it. Now, as always, I'm going to talk about a restaurant because, well, I'm a fat guy. Well, this weekend, my the one pick where it actually stands out to me that Groupon is trying to kill me, I went to Mosaic. Now, this is the second time I've been there. The food is excellent. I can't even tell you how many unique things I've tried there. But when you go on Groupon, you can get $25 off your bill for like $9, or I think it's like $50 off a $100 bill. But you got to spend $100. Right, you got to spend. Well, you know
can't just go in there and buy a couple appetizers and ask for your money.
Yeah, no. So there it is. My wife and myself, we have to spend a minimum of $50. Now, when you're looking at the menu and your appetizers are ranging between $6, $7, your dinners are ranging $18, $17. So we had to get 3 appetizers, 2 meals, and we still had to get a dessert, split a dessert, just to cover the $50 that we had to spend. So we had the ambition before we went there, like, okay, after dinner we're going to go hit Lowe's, and then we're going to go get some stuff for the house, and we're going to go home and we're going to start working around. No, that didn't happen. No, we finished the meal. We were arguing, like, all right, if I drop you off in front of the Lowe's, can you just waddle in, get a shop vac? I don't even know if we need a shop vac. Just buy one. Just so we could say we did something. And we literally went home. I couldn't even lay down. I was so full. I had to like sit in the chair in the corner of the room, just waiting for my stomach to settle because there was just so much. It was like Christmas Eve all over again. So we hit Mosaic again. Restaurant in Cranston, stuffed grape leaves. If you're into Syrian, Middle Eastern food, food is excellent. We had the stuffed grape leaves. We had stuff called Borak, B-O-R-A-K. It's a little puff pastry stuff with cheese and deep fried. How can you go wrong?
You could deep fry a shoe. I'll eat it.
My wife had chicken shawarma, made famous by the Avengers. At the end of, I think, the second Avengers movie, the cutaway scene was them sitting around eating chicken shawarma. So my wife had to try that. The food, like I said, was excellent. Dessert, I don't even know what it was. I couldn't even pronounce it on a bet. I just pointed to the menu, and it came out, and it's just these 6 little pieces of it looked like a pinwheel. But it was cheese and honey and nuts and, oh, my God. So yeah, long story short, I only spent, and with the tip, I only spent about $70, $65, and you know, again, I'll say it again, Groupon is trying to kill me.
Now back to Mosaic's location, and I don't know if we talked about this on your show or it was just someone I was talking to in general, but that little strip in Cranston and that kind of general Cranston area, there's a slamming little restaurant scene going on in Cranston. You never would have thought it.
Well, directly across the street is a Chinese restaurant that also does dim sum. You have a breakfast place which is also does Mexican-ish food, burritos and stuff like that. They have their own blend. They make their own chorizo. Right around the corner is a Chinese market that I always go to. Yeah. And yeah, no, it's a very eclectic. In fact, there's even a Jewish meat market. And that's, I don't even know the name of it because all you can see is all the signs that just say Jewish meat market in the window. You know, it's like, what's the name of the place? Jewish meat market.
Is that where single Jewish women go to meet single Jewish men?
No, that's called J-Date. Look it up. I ain't making that up. Yeah, no, it's a great little food scene over there, and you are at the crossroads of a lot of different neighborhoods over there.
Yeah.
In fact, the old Park Cinema, which is now Park Cafe, and there's something else in the back. Mm-hmm. I've never actually gone to see a show there, but I've been in there since they've redone it. It's a beautiful, beautiful redo on the old theater.
The Tales of Rocky Point by our good friend Jason Mayu. The debut was there at the Park Cinema. It was my first time in there since they redid it, and yeah, it's a classy joint.
Yeah. Well, again, you could kind of squeeze in and like fit in with the class. I don't fit in with the classy. I fit in with the blunt, ignorant, and drunk.
I'm more concerned about fitting into those 1950s seats.
No, I'll just stand in the back.
Out.
Thank you. The only thing I didn't check out at the old Park Cinema, whether or not they still had the trough toilet.
Trough toilet?
Yeah. You know when you go, instead of having individual urinals in the men's room, it's just one big sink. It's just set kind of low.
Right.
You're just peeing in a
and
sink.
It usually has a pitch to it, so it drains out. And this is a true story. Hand to God, Washington County Fair, which is coming around. I'm in the troughed bathroom, and it's it's just the big trough to pee in, but there's separate stalls, just like a regular urinal. And I'm taking a leak, and I don't know if it was legit or a kid screwing around with a Tootsie Roll, but a turd came floating by in the trough urinal. Either that guy didn't get out much and didn't know what to do, or it was a kid screwing around, but a turd went floating by in the trough urinal.
You see, I've gone to a few concerts when I was, back in my day, when I was in my 20s and 30s. I went to a few concerts where the venues had the troughs.
Yeah.
And depending on what night it was, how much drinking, I've seen several people sleeping in the trough. It's like, if you're that messed up,
you go shower.
Just like, this looks like a good place to lay. Well, think about it. If you throw up, if you don't have to go that far, and you're kind of wedged in the shape of it. So that's
worst Airbnb ever.
Before this goes any more awry than it already has, why don't we cut to some music? Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do a little music now. We're going to leave here with a little bit of Pistol Shot Gypsy. Name of the song is Rockstar. We'll be back in a minute.
again. It's like the time can never end. My life with you is getting old. It's got my blood running cold. Gotta take you out of this place. We're gonna raise some hell. Gotta drive you, but your tempo's slow. Don't understand the way we need to go. It's like you're stuck inside the Middle Ages. Dust off the cobwebs in between the pages. You gotta learn to let loose if you're gonna raise hell. Gotta learn to rock, you gotta learn to roll. You gotta reach down deep into your very soul. Let the melody take your mind to a far-out place. Can you feel it rising up to the beat of the bass? Can you feel it? Now you're starting to rock, now you're ready to roll. You got the spirit screaming out through your soul. You can feel it from your head to your toes. You're raising hell. Let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. Don't let the band get out of control. We're raising
And we're back. I gotta wait for the finger to let me know that the microphone's on. And
Why don't any of your tracks have the proper times to
because you're supposed to pay attention to this stuff.
Too busy talking to you guys about crown molding.
Yeah, that's it. Crown molding. That's
Many different types.
I don't even know what that is.
yes. Well, we're doing more of an OG with an 1 3/4 reveal. I wish I was making this up.
You're gonna get the wood paneling with the shag carpet that goes like halfway up the wall.
You know, I was in Pennsylvania. And
I believe they call that the Chester the Molester.
I stayed in a hotel called the Ponderosa, PONDA-ROSA, just so they couldn't get sued by the the restaurant chain.
Yeah.
Well, the show.
And it had this beautiful stone style carpet. It looked like there were stones, but it was actually a carpet, wall to wall, and then it went up the wall all the way to the ceiling. So they paid like 6 times as much for all the carpeting, but they didn't have to worry about putting up paneling or anything. They just had to steam clean
What a trend.
the protein off the walls once in a while. The things you have to. Anyways, life on the road. Speaking of life on the road, last weekend, like I said, we were at Livestock. I got there on Friday, first thing in the afternoon, crack of noon. I got there, and I can't thank Tim, the property owner, enough. From where the stage was out to where the last tent was almost, I'd say about a little bit more than a quarter mile away. And I got a chance to really just walk around and talk to the people. It's kind of like if you go on the convention circuit. There's people you only see at the conventions. Well, there's some people I only see at shows, and it's usually I can only talk to them for like 30 seconds because I'm either on my way from doing a set or on my way to my getting back up in the DJ booth. Well, Friday especially, I mean, I put on a playlist and I got to walk around and talk with people. And same thing with Saturday. Saturday, I just playlisted the hell out of it just so I could hang out with these people and really talk to them, like I want to. Tammy LaForest was there. She, her and Jenna. Let's go with Jenna. Tammy and Jenna, they kicked it off. Productive Member put on a hell of a set. The Quins were there. Fathom Farewell, Most Dangerous Men Alive. Ben and Eric, we hung out for quite a while, mostly just because I was slightly intoxicated, and that's where I kind of set up my chair under their. They had a pop up over there. Now I think it was Friday night into Saturday. Yeah, Friday night into Saturday. The weather changed, the winds picked up, and pretty much, I'd say about half of the pop-up, like shade tents, went sailing. Everybody, I lost mine. I mean, I had 90 pounds of sand holding mine down, and it flew up over my truck and just got totaled. But that was the only thing I lost. Tents were getting blown across the field. It was kind of rough for a little while. Then it just chilled right out. 350 people came in on a Friday, camped out until Sunday. Everyone brought their own booze, food. There was food available. In fact, they did a brisket, smoked brisket. They started cooking Friday night at midnight. At noon on Saturday, it was almost done. Oh, it was so good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I can't say enough about it. It was just to go was a blast. Getting to catch up with these people and actually sitting down, seeing what they got coming up. I had to break a little news to everybody, and I'll do it again here. If you haven't heard yet, September 9th is going to be my last show as a DJ. I will just be Psycho Eddie from that point on. I started 25 years ago.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah. And the amazing part is the DJ at the nightclub. I was at a strip club. The DJ called out. The owner looked at me and said, "What do you know about music?" Absolutely nothing. Good. Get up in the sound booth. You're the DJ, and it stuck. And 25 years later, I'm 45. I'm old, half dead, and I realized after I made the announcement that how many people actually enjoy what I do. Yeah. I thought I was, just filler or whatever, the noise in between the bands. People actually would look forward to me DJing these shows. So if you want to catch me, the last possible one is September 9th at FET. I will be at the outdoor stage. I'll talk more about that as time gets closer. So one of the other bands that were there, I ran across, I don't know if you remember Ray Regola, lead singer for All for Blood. He came up to me and he put his arms around me, gave me the brotherly hug, not one of the other hugs. You hug him, but manly way.
Beating the crap out of each other while you're hugging,
smacking each other on the back, trying to inflict pain. But I love you, man. Anyways, me and Ray, we had a sit down. Part of the reason I'm stopping the DJing is my health is going to hell in a handbasket. So he basically understood, and he told me you got to take care of yourself. You got to do what's right for you. So Ray and I did have a chance to talk. So we're gonna have.
Isn't he also a hell of a cook?
Yeah, he's actually a cook at Twin River.
Mm-hmm.
He also got me turned on to Sullivan's Public House up in. They have a hell of an Irish breakfast over there. Anyways, we're going to do a double shot of All for Blood because Ray and Lou and Mike and all the guys from All for Blood just kick ass. So we're going to do a kick ass set of All for Blood. We're going to leave here with Breach. We'll be back in a minute.
begin to let understand. You have to explain it all over again. Don't say that to me, I cannot believe. Don't say that to me, it's not foresight. Don't say that to me, it's not time to play. Don't say that to me, it's time to break. Don't say that to me, I cannot believe. Don't say that to me, it's not foresight. Don't say that to me, it's not time to play. Don't say that to me, it's time to reach. I can't believe it, no I cannot see it and swallow the demons inside. All of the features that hide all the creatures that's buried inside of your mind. I can't believe it, no I cannot see it and swallow the demons inside. All of the features that hide all the creatures that's buried inside of your mind. Blinded and blind, it's misunderstood. The reasons why one must have to die. You can't comprehend the wounds that must mend. You didn't get to say goodbye. Feeling the dirt all deep in the dirt. Feeling the cold creep up inside. Can't even begin to let understand. You have to explain it all over again. Don't say that to me, I cannot believe. Don't say that to me, it's not foresight. Don't say that to me, it's not time to play. Don't say that to me, it's time to break. Don't say that to me, I cannot believe. Don't say that to me, it's not foresight. Don't say that to me, it's not time to play. Don't say that to me, it's time to reach. I can't believe it, no I cannot see it and swallow the demons inside. All of the features that hide all the creatures that's buried inside of your mind. I can't believe it, no I cannot see it and swallow the demons inside. All of the features that hide all the creatures that's buried inside of your mind. Don't say that to me, I cannot believe. Don't say that to me, it's not foresight. Don't say that to me, it's not time to play. Don't say that to me, it's time to break. Don't say that to me, I cannot believe. Don't say that to me, it's not foresight. Don't say that to me, it's not time to play. Don't say that to me, it's time to the case today. You never went to time. That's what I tell you. That's what I tell you. Ah, whoa. That's what I tell you. That's what I tell you. Ah, whoa.
All right, my night outers. See, that was a nice, smooth transition. No, none of that dead air stuff.
Now, I was just doing some research, and if you can believe it, on February 1st in 2014, a young DJ Psycho Eddie, Ray from All for Blood, and Dave from Vulgar Expressions joined me in studio at a local AM station here. They debuted that song Breach, and you guys were talking about, I believe, the first ever Freak Fest.
Yes. I do remember that. Oddly enough. Yeah, that was, God, what is it? 5th floor. I can't even think of the name of the building over on downtown Providence.
The now defunct AM 1320.
Yeah, no, we had a blast that night. And honestly, between me, you, and Ray, I don't know how Dave fit in.
I don't know how the floors didn't buckle. That's an old building.
Well, enough about the past. We're going to move to the future. The future is Mr. Mike Worm here from the
Future's
band.
bright, hopefully.
From the band Worm. Also, Reckless Records. If you're going to look them up, it's Reckless Rec Chords. So, Mike, how you doing tonight?
Not too bad. Yourself?
I'm wonderful, as always. You got a show coming up.
Yeah, big show. Friday, 25th of August. C-Note, Nantasket Beach.
Yep.
In Hull. $8, 21 plus. 7:30 is doors. We got Bad Movies, Honest John reunion shows. Supported by Brain Dead, Blue Liners, Sick Joke, and Mouth Breather.
Okay.
Right on the beach.
Now, see, if for those of you wondering, Hull, Mass. is not really one of those cities you hear a lot about. If you're coming from Rhode Island, it's not as far as Boston.
No, it's not.
So, now I actually
right
had
at Quincy.
Oh, exactly. I was just going to say it's not too far from Quincy. I actually had to look it up myself because I'm a typical Rhode Islander. I don't travel outside of Rhode Island all that much. But as I'm going through the Reckless Rec Chords Facebook page, I see you were playing there on the 21st of July with See This World, Worm, of course, the Pint Killers, and the Money. So it looks like the C-Note is getting quite a bit of your patronage.
Yeah, I've been booking there a lot the last couple of years, trying to bring people in from the city, bring them down towards the beach. It's a great summer spot. You go to the beach. They have a carnival in June, July. There's a ton of stuff going on, ton of bars, ton of good places to eat.
So it's not just
it's like a boardwalk kind of.
Well, I was just going to say, it's not just show up to the bar and, well, that's it. There's a lot of stuff going on, so you can actually, I don't want to say the word pregame, but if one were so inclined to get there early so they can get a little bit of a buzz going on, they could.
You hit the beach, there's a ton of good eateries, walk the boardwalk.
Now, when we were off the air and we were joking about this a little bit, a very good name for a band was mentioned.
Oh, yes.
Straight Edge Kids on Acid.
Straight Edge Kids on Acid.
Now,
death metal. They have to be death metal.
No.
Death or black metal.
Now, this is a story that I was talking about, and it didn't even dawn on me about the value of the band name. I just thought it was awesome because I was hanging out with some guys not that long ago, and, I got a drink in my hand. I actually had a rather large bottle in my hand, and I wanted to share. Let's do a drink together. No. We're straight edge. We're not drinking anymore. However,
so they're sober then. They're not straight edge.
The other side of that was, they are sober. They are not drinking any alcohol, but
anymore.
Well, no, they did drink quite a bit, and I don't want to mention any names because the second half of this is I asked them, how you seem a little messed up. How come? It's like, because we're tripping on acid right now. So, okay, you're straight edge, but tripping on acid.
No,
I don't understand how it works, but hey, Ian MacKaye enjoys a glass of wine every now and again, so I guess that's straight edge.
If you want to advocate against the use of psychedelic drugs, just Google Brian Wilson interview and take a look at Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys these days. Homeboy is hurting.
Yeah, no,
they literally escort him out into the piano, and they sit him down, and he still plays a set, but lights are on. Nobody's home with Mr. Wilson.
No,
but you got a minute to blast when you're on them.
I've never experienced acid. I have no. Trust me, my mind is plenty active and plenty twisted without adding any other substances to it. I thought it was crazy. Like, no, straight edge. We're on acid. We're good. That just caught me off guard.
That's like saying, I'm on a diet. Let's go to the buffet.
I'm on a diet, but those cupcakes sure look good.
Actually, I also have a quick story about moderation going to the dogs. Now, as you can tell, look across from the table, I'm a fat guy. I will say this 14 times a show if I have to. If anyone doubts me, look me up on Facebook. I'm a big dude. So the other night, my wife and I are on our way home. She wants ice cream. Who am I to say no, right?
Exactly.
So I had a little bit of self-control. I didn't get the half gallon. I just got 2 pints.
Moderation's everything in life.
Exactly. And I knew going into it, that pint was not going to see another day. My wife, however, was trying to be conscientious about her caloric intake. Yep. So she puts the pint of ice cream in the microwave for 30 seconds to soften it up. She goes into the drawer to get out the special ice cream scoop that fits perfectly into a pint. And she starts scooping the first scoop out to put it into a bowl. And I guess she hit a hard spot and a soft spot. And then next thing you know, this big lump, good-sized chunk of ice cream hits the floor. She's trying to be like, at that point, I'm like, look, don't waste any more. The dogs cleaned it up. We have no fear.
I hope it wasn't chocolate.
Actually, it was chocolate ice cream. They can have a little bit of chocolate. Too much will kill a dog, but they have to eat like a pound of like pure chocolate. So needless to say, my wife got all frustrated. She didn't want to waste any more ice cream. I didn't want her to waste any more ice
Sure,
cream.
the dogs didn't mind, though.
The dogs definitely did not mind.
Dogs were in a bib with an ice cream cone on it.
But no, to me, it just tells me, she was trying to, it wasn't worth it because she ended up wasting it anyways. So that's my little story. I got lots of these little stories, but I'm going to digress here because
it kind of reminds me of the time, speaking of moderation, that I found out the hard way that sugar-free ice cream gives me explosive diarrhea.
Oh, that wonderful chemical called sorbitol. Yes.
That'll clean out the old plumbing.
Sugar-free.
Yeah, eat a bag of the sugar-free Hershey bars. Yeah, the fun size. Oh, they're fun. Oh, again, I can't even tell you how many times. Oh God,
they don't leave a fun size in your toilet bowl, though, huh?
Oh my God, they rip you apart, man. They're something with that sugar alcohol. It just kills you. I'll digress. There's nobody needs to know about my bathroom habits. Not that I haven't talked about them. It's just no one else needs to know, I think. But why don't we cut to some music? Actually, here's a person that you've brought in here several times, Megan Casey. I can't really put my finger on it why I like her music, but I can tell you right now, her CD is still in my CD player, and she gave it to me
it's
6
great
months
CD.
ago.
Yeah.
It's
She's
a great CD.
Working on something new right now.
I can't wait for
full
that
length. I think
I can't wait for that to come out. But here is one track off the CD that she gave me. It's called "A Girl Named Sin." Megan Casey. We'll be back in a minute.
That's my favorite song by her.
Well, I was born right from the devil's head. He said, well, I ain't never gonna be lonely again. I need me a partner, and I'll need her in red to be the finest thing you see, and I'll be the only thing she believes. Fell in love with everything you said, so what you need me to do, I will go on right ahead. Call me sin and I will be your girl. Well, I can never lose you, 'cause I'd be losing me too. Do the devil's work and I'll do it for free. As long as you can always love a girl like me. Call me sin and I've been waiting for you to. Tempting desire, so it's just a brush of fire. Well, don't be scared. Fell in love with everything you said, so what you need me to do, I will go on right ahead. Call me sin and I will be all yours. Well, I can never lose you, 'cause I'll be losing me too. Well, I can never lose you, 'cause I'll be losing me too.
All right, my Night Outers, that was 1031. I Will Not Drown. Before that, we had Megan Casey, Girl Named Sin. You know, we're running out of time really quick here, so I'm just going to recap quickly. If you want to check us out on Facebook, /My Night Out, MyNightOutRI.com is the website you want to go to for all your upcoming needs, upcoming event needs. If you want to hit me up, if you want to send me some music, if you want to just get on the show like Mr. Worm here, MyNightOutRadio@Verizon.net. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at DJ Psycho Eddie or at MyNightOutRI. Don't forget, August 25th, Reckless Rec Chords doing a show at the C Note in Hull, Massachusetts, Nantasket Beach, Nantasket Avenue, 159 Nantasket Avenue.
I was just looking that up on the old Google Earth. That looks a little happening place there,
Yeah,
like
I was
almost
actually-
like
I was doing the satellite
boardwalk,
view
yeah.
of it. It's a really nice area.
Remind me a little bit of Coney Island.
The Coney Island of the North. So Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I want to thank Mike Worm for being in studio with us. I want to thank Mr. Jones for, putting up with my crap for another week. And I want to thank everyone for listening. We're going to leave here with a little bit of Blindside Thunder.
Speaking of worms.
Speaking of worms, it's going to be tequila. Have a good night, everybody.